Hey guys, me again, Orc Slayer Diffs. Where I last left off, let's see, checking. So, Bell made his way to one of the towns, a makeshift town, after killing a guy who tried to knife him in his sleep. He killed him, and people right off the bat could tell that came from a guy that they knew. The guy was known for killing people. So, you see what happened there. But anyways, as we continue, what has happened is that Bell met Celebrimbor, and he's learned a bit about how to control his magic. Nothing too fancy, if I remember. All he's really done is learn how to make it into a ball, and another like a dagger. But he will continue to get better. But they killed one of the captains that went to go join, as they just have come to know him as the Troll Slayer. And that's all they know his name as to be, the Troll Slayer. The captain went out with at least 20 men to hunt down some karagors. Those karagors then took out 10 of his men. And in the meantime, when he was berating the people, arrows came flying and struck some of the ones that were remaining. Captain himself was then struck with an arrow right in the leg, I believe. As pretty much the rest of the men, since they're pretty much like cowards, ran away, well, Bell and Celebrimbor came down to pay the captain a visit. As then they killed him, gaining reputation, or gaining somewhat of a knowledge of like how they're organized, is that they at least have captains. But anyways, as we continue forward, Bell and Celebrimbor do a guerrilla warfare campaign as they do not run out of bodies to kill. Because in the beginning, Troll Slayer had around 100 men, from what they could tell. But now it's been 3 weeks. Bell and Celebrimbor have been training endlessly each day. Bell's skills leaping, like taking bounds and leaps with how good he is, since he's gained tutelage from Celebrimbor, a sword master, archery master, and somewhat of a, not master, but an adept of the arcane arts, especially when it comes to forging weapons out of them. So, what's happening is that in those few weeks, hundreds of troops have come to join Troll Slayer's thing. Hundreds, yeah. So, with Bell and Celebrimbor not running out of bodies to kill, Troll Slayer is having trouble getting control of all these troops. So, as Bell and Celebrimbor will come to learn, as when they come across a more heavily fortified outpost than typical, as they come to know this as the slave post. Sorry about that. The slave post is where essentially the most underperforming and useless of the group of the warriors and such, who aren't pulling their weight in some way, are sent to. That they're just forced pretty much to be manual labor, or people don't really don't care about them. They just strap them to posts and watch them die. Yeah, it's a very cruel world here in Mordor. But as we continue, what they come across as they pretty much kill everyone in the camp, there's one lucky bugger that managed to survive that entire time. As Elscratchoy said, they did not kill the entire camp. They killed the guards surrounding the specific area as they're sneaking in. As one guy's like, "Hey, hi, what are you doing?" I can't do a voice for Ratbag, so sorry. Yes, it's Ratbag. As they're like, hey. As he tells them what? You need some information or something? Cut me down from this post and I'll give it to you. As they're Bell looks at Celebrimbor as he's like, cut him. See what he knows. As Bell's like, alright then. As he cuts Ratbag free, as he's like, oh, thank you, Ranger. As Bell looks at him, he's like, oh, you don't think we can already tell who's been hunting us down? Especially when the reports from the survivors come. Stranger cloak in a weird cloak, with killing people from afar with bows and arrows and stealth tactics. It couldn't be anyone but the Rangers of Black Gate. Troll Slayer hasn't let the information get out. He figures he'll bring your corpse to the trio, or you personally, alive. Troll Slayer's no idiot, so, As he's like, but I hear you guys been targeting people inside of Troll Slayer's army, so how about this? I'll teach you how to get after the big guys, the ones who really grab his attention, and to weaken his army. But in return, you let Ratbag live. As Celebrimbor's like, deal. As Bell's like, Celebrimbor, as it's like, well, not Celebrimbor, he goes like, but Master, he's like, Bell, we need information on the inside. And this Ratbag can do as good as any other. As he's like, oh. As Bell holds a sword up to his throat, don't disappoint us. It's like, oh, don't worry, Ratbag plans always work out in the end, Ranger. And, whoever you are. Now come. As he tells them about Goroth. As it's pretty much a play-by-play of the Shadow of Mordor's campaign for the mission. Is that they run into, like, that little gang, but Celebrimbor is part of this, as he, like, helps Bell cut him down. As, eventually, they do take care of Goroth, and this is how they do it. It's like, Goroth never leaves, ever! Wonder where he pees. Oh, that explains the smell. Stay here and stay out of sight. As Celebrimbor's like, I'll go high, you go low. He's like, yes, Master. As with that, they both set off. As they infiltrate through the camp, stealth killing anyone who gets in their way, really. As Bell's like, well, so goes for him on always being in the camp. Then we must go to him. Talion. Or not Talion, Bell. As Bell says, yes, Master. As he follows along, he's like, you really think this Ratbag can help us, Master? He's like, most definitely. The weak and cowardly are sometimes the most cunning. Remember that. Bell. Troll Slayer is one of few exceptions I've seen in Mordor, of him being strong and cunning. This is why he must be taken care of, to draw out the Black Hand. Like, as you say, Master Bell. Not Master Bell, but Master. As Bell and Celebrimbor snuck across and use the whole, he's scared of the karagors. Taming karagors is a thing in this, is a thing in the Society of Mordor. It's just very difficult to do, as you would expect. So what's happening now is that Bell's like, you can use your bow, Master, and free the karagor. As they hear Goroth saying, I once snapped a karagor's neck just by looking at him. I did it with my eyes. As that is a thing Goroth actually says. It's pretty hilarious listening to him. As then they let him go, and Goroth goes to run away like a little beach. As he's running away, Bell's like, I'll go after Goroth. He's like, no need, Talion. As Goroth gets eaten by a karagor. As Bell's like, oh. Well then, guess we best report back to Ratbag. Not report back to Bell, but inform. As they get Ratbag to be upgraded. As Troll Slayer well, not Troll Slayer hears about this, but yeah, they like get informed about. As Troll Slayer, what he's called is that he has his war chiefs. As for like the war chiefs answer to him, and he has hundreds of men. So he has several war chiefs to lead like over 100 men. You see? So that's how it will be. So for Bell and Celebrimbor, they got their work cut out for them, but they will be able to get to it eventually. As they continue, with Bell and Celebrimbor doing their guerrilla warfare, bringing terror to these enemies. As Troll Slayer increases the amount that he puts on Bell's head, saying that this information doesn't get out of our information. Hang on. Well, not. But what he does is essentially he says that Bell is worth a lot, and anyone who brings him down will be made his right-hand man. That includes all the perks that would go along with it. As the information is known, there's like dozens of hunting parties that are being led out against Bell. The war chiefs even like start like making more of a push for him, as they lead themselves. Sorry about that. They lead themselves. Well, not lead themselves, but come out of hiding just for the chance to snuff out Bell's, to get Bell to Troll Slayer. As Troll Slayer's been very adamant that he gets the last ranger, as they've become calling him the ranger, to the Black Hand, as a peace offering, you know? So with that, Bell and Celebrimbor are having busy weeks, as Celebrimbor comes to learn more about Bell, but also Bell learns a bit more about Celebrimbor, hearing a bit of what Celebrimbor did, as I believe I told the story of, like, Bell learned about Celebrimbor's, no wait, I don't think I ever did, but essentially Celebrimbor's kingdom fell, and yeah, all that. I believe that was said. Yes, it was. And Bell comes to learn more about Celebrimbor's life and what he did, like I was saying. Sorry about that. It's like I mainly go all this off from memory, and like a summary of what I like made up and such. But anyways, what happens is that Celebrimbor tells Bell that he was actually a weaponsmith, or just a smith in general, which is sort of the truth. He was known for his jewelry, his magical weapons that he crafted, everything. From the mightiest sword to the most beautiful circlets. In that kingdom, he was known as the Lord of Gifts. For when he made very good relationships with people, and the items that he would make for them, or that he would make for people to give to other people, as he said that the Lord himself requested several times that Celebrimbor make him either rings, jewelry, even his personal crown that the Lord set upon his head, were all forged by Celebrimbor himself. Not each one, but quite a few of them having magical properties. Either can hide you for a certain amount of time, boost your strength before it breaks, make you faster. A lot of things. As Bell says, really? So you were really high up there? It's like, yes, I was at one point. As Celebrimbor looks away, as he's like, sorry again for making you say this. It's like, it's no problem, Bell. But let us continue forward. As then Bell and Celebrimbor have to save Ratbag from getting executed. Because Mog, I believe it's Zog and Mog. The one's called the twin, and then So, yeah, Mog, the twin, Zog, the other twin, I believe. Yeah. But, as they're twins, essentially, except one's bigger, one's smaller. And so, it's still framed the same way as that Ratbag's being executed, and Talion and Celebrimbor have to save him. So, as they take care of the people around, as in these weeks, Celebrimbor has taught Bell how to forge or force the magic into like certain points. So as he's been able to make daggers with it, throwable daggers, as when he throws them, it takes a bit of magicka each time he has to when he uses one, but otherwise it's still pretty good. So as Bell throws them, like he gets headshots and some in the neck as they fall, as then Zog's like, huh? What the? Everyone form up! As he like shouts that out, they all like get behind each other. It's like, what's wrong, boss? The archers are dead, you idiots! As he's looking around, don't let the little rat escape. You there, fan out! Let us see what idiot seems to attack us. As he moves away, as Celebrimbor takes care of the guy who went off on his own, as well as a few guarding him, as in Bell says, Zog, as he's like, a man thing. I forget what he exactly says to you. He's like, you're no better than the rest of these maggots. Than these, hang on. I think it's, you're no better than the rest of these cowardly maggots. And I will show everyone here how low that is. As he lets a, now like a, it's like a little bit of a yell. I can't remember. It's like a, damn it. I wish I can remember how they like sounded, because I hope I would do impressions, but I know they're not very good. The only one that I think I could really do is the like, there's these guys that just like breathe heavily and growl. That's all they do. It's like, yeah, that's all they do. It's funny, but that's a bit it. Then there's like really dumb ones who's like, then there's like really dumb ones who just like, you know, are dumb. It's like, smash, stab, kill is literally like their pretty much basic instincts. It's funny, but yeah. As Bell says, very well, Zog, as he decapitates him. As Zog and him come to duel, Zog has, like, what would be the best way to say it? Is that his strength seems to be greater than Bell, or at least equal to. As Zog says, you're no better than a maggot. My brother will see, I will show my brother your corpse. As then he smashes down on Bell's sword, as Bell takes that moment with Zog putting all his like effort into a smash downward, he lets the club go past his sword as it slides down, as he simply takes it and slices off his head, as Zog for a second is like, what? As the head goes rolling off, as then the body follows suit. As Bell walks over and sees Celebrimbor freeing Ratbag, Ratbag's like, hey, good job with that, Ranger. You too, whatever your name is. He's like, what about our deal? As it's like, deal's over. So, wait, as he goes and collects the head, saying that he'll betray the war chief for him, doing as it was. He's like, you can take care of the other war chiefs on your own. It's like, very well. As Bell's like, are we sure about this, master? Ratbag couldn't even take care of him. He's like, Ratbag will serve his purpose, and when he is done, we shall cast him aside. It's like, really, master? He's like, yes. It's like, very well. As I'll bring in what Troll Slayer is like his, if you would classify him as a rank in a game. There in the first game they only ever had war chiefs. So in this, I guess he's an overlord. As in the second game, Shadow of War, they had overlords, which were pretty much people who commanded entire fortresses. But in this case, it's just that he commands a very large force of not orcs, but a force of like tribesmen and such. As Bel and Celebrimbor make their way through this thing, as eventually over time, they still come to hear that, oh no, Ratbag got captured. It's like, alright, you'll never believe this. I go tell the war chief that we just killed. Turns around, got the same dead face as the last glob we killed. Twins. What are the odds of? He's like, as he does the whole, but he isn't dead yet. That's why I'm going to go kill him. As Celebrimbor's like, as he laughs, as he just sees how frustrated Bel is, he's like, Master, if this doesn't work, I'm going to kill Ratbag. He's like, don't mind him, Talion. He is very... Not Talion, dang it. I'm so used to having Celebrimbor go like, Talion. It's Bel now. And he's like, don't worry, Bel. Don't worry, Bel. Ratbag has served his purpose after this point. Or he can continue to serve. Obstructing the plans. As then they come across face to face with Mog. No, it was Brog. I think it was Brog, the twin, and then Mog, the other twin. So as Mog does the whole, the pain of my twin shall echo within you. I can't remember. Like I said, they have a lot of accents. It's, it's the pain of my twin shall echo within you. Then he does the whole raw scream. So as Celebrimbor goes to fight the war chief, because Bel says, we're getting more reinforcements, Master. He's like, go, I will deal with Mog. He's like, yes, Master. As Bel takes care of like 20 tribesmen. As he takes out his two swords, as he slices them down, saying, come, face the last ranger. As he's like, it's him. As Bel throws daggers, as they each land on their mark in the forehead of a tribesman. So by the time Celebrimbor's done dueling with Mog, and in fact he was almost like knocked over by him, he's like, since Mog played dirty, as he kicked Celebrimbor's knee when he was least expecting it, and even like sort of threw mud, like grog into his eyes. He's like, ah! Mog was about to strike Celebrimbor down, as Bel says, hey, Mog! He's like, what? As then Bel slammed the sword right up through Mog's, like under Mog's chin, straight up to the top of his head. He's like, do not mess with my master. As they like toss him off. As Mog's like, as Ratbag says, yes, finally, Ratbag is war chief. As he's like, as it's all excited and such. Like, Ratbag will make sure no one gets infected. Yeah, I just want to get this right out of the way. So that way I could focus on the other war chiefs. Because there are technically 5 in one area, I believe. Yeah, there's 5 in one area. So what will happen is that there's 4 war chiefs after this. So, you see where I'm going with this, guys? Yeah, as Bel says, Master, we got 4 more war chiefs to focus on, though. To draw out Troll Slayer. I got a hair in my mouth. I think I do. Ugh. It's so weird. But anyways, as Bel focuses on, like, as they talk with about how the war chiefs will be difficult, but they could take them on. And Bel says, We should focus on terrorizing and tearing down their base structure. But the problem is, Master, is that the orcs flock to his banner more and more every day. What are we to do? He says, Then we must make an example out of their ranks quickly. Like, how do we do that? By targeting the ones at the top. Yeah, I just said we need to go after the war chiefs. Not just the war chiefs. Troll Slayer. He's like, yes, Master, that's our plan, but we can't just go after them, like, right off the bat. That's what Ratbag's been telling us. He's like, you're right. Yeah. Sorry, Bill, I grow impatient. I've been going after the trio for so long. My judgment gets clouded from time to time. He's like, I understand, Master. But we are just a little bit longer before we get at least one of them. After all, they're hearing that I am here. If it's true, we must be allowed to get one of them out. A messenger out. As he's like, that's it. As Bell says, I got an idea. Stay out of the shadows. Stay in the shadows for a while, Master. I'll be going. As they live in a cave that has been cleared out. As Bell goes out and terrorizes and kills hundreds, well, about 100 of the, like, in one of the major outposts, when people are like, what's that? As then 2 arrows just go flying over as they, like, knock 2 people in the neck. As people are like, what the heck? As Bell's just walking towards the front gate, it's like, it's the Ranger! As, like, people grab their weapons, like, as they all go charging out, Bell's like, as he rushes forward, as he uses the magic to augment himself a little bit, as he is, like, jumping over people, sliding in between them, as dozens are just left dead in moments. As a war chief known as the, what was that one guy? I'm trying to remember one of the ones I remembered. He's, wait, that was his name. His name was known as the Karagor Butcher. As he's famed for being for going out and with just his with just his 2 axes, or his 2 meat cleavers, if you want to be correct, and just slaughtering Karagors, butchering them. And he has turned their armor, their natural armor, like their hide, and has decorated his axes with their fangs, teeth, you name it. As he's like, boss, the Ranger's here. As he's like, oh, I may be a butcher of Karagors, but I'll make an exception for the Ranger. As he's like, come on, boys, time for slaughter. As Bell says, where is your master? As the Karagor Butcher's like, here I am now. Come, I'll make you suffer. As he comes rushing at Bell, swinging his dual axes in a fury. Bell, as his as his 3 captain bodyguards, which is the bodyguards of a war chief, are captains. So as these bodyguards come rushing at Bell, he's like, well, this will be easy. As he throws a knife into one guy's knee, he then takes an arrow as he shoves it through another guy's eye. As in for the final one, the Karagor Butcher goes swinging crazily, as then he just catches him right in the neck. As he's like, looks around, I should have gotten better bodyguards, it seems. Ripping out his axe, he's like, Ranger, you just gonna keep on dancing all day? It's like, if that's so, move in, boys! As another wave of troops just come bearing down on Bell. As Bell uses this chance to display what he calls his, I believe it's, what was it called? It's the ability where as he charges up Magicka, he blasted into the ground, sending several people away, like sort of throwing people away from him with a smash to the ground. As everyone's like, "Ugh, he knows magic." As some of them start running, like getting unsteady and about to run away, it's like, "Ugh, you whelps on nothing. I'll kill him myself." As the Karagor Slayer, or not Slayer, but Butcher comes rushing in at Bell, Bell then takes his knife, sort of slides beneath like the Karagor Butcher's wide swing as he slides beneath, as he cuts him right across the left side, as he's like, it's gonna take a bit more than that little cut to kill Murray. As he comes again and again, with Bell just repeating it over and over until eventually the Karagor Butcher's like, "Is that all you got?" As then Bell goes by him one more time, as with that final slice, the Butcher's guts just start, sort of fall. As he's like, "Well, that's bad." As he falls down. As he's on his knees, he's like, Bell comes behind him as he thrusts the sword through his neck and then cuts it off. As then he picks down and picks up the head, as you know the whole, he didn't pick up the head, he just pretty much puts it on his sword. "Spread the name that the last ranger lives, and he challenges Troll Slayer." As all the warriors, after seeing this, book it. They start running off in all directions as they are screaming and panicking, just like, "The ranger! He's a demon! He's a wraith of some... He's a creature!" As they run away. After Bell has settled this little match, he leaves the wreckage. As he just sets the little village aflame. And that's where I'm going to be ending this one off. I hope y'all have enjoyed this. Hope y'all continue to enjoy this. And I hope y'all have a nice day, nice night, nice life.